Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, live. Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. My name is Ron E. Bradley. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, as of the live stream and recording of this, today is the 27th day of September 2024. I'm trying something a little different today, as you can see. I'm just trying this from my webcam. I might try and set, I might switch it over at some point in time, because for some reason it's still, even though it's through my webcam, it's giving me a little bit of that max headroom type of a thing. But I would imagine that we're at least hearing it okay. So hopefully we're hearing everything okay. Oh, look, wait, what is this? You're able to gift memberships again. Go and Shogi, look at that. Go and Shogi, starting things out with 5 gifted memberships already. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Putin's cat. Virginia Bradley Adventures. Guess what? You got a gifted membership. Now you can use Baby, throw them in there. You can use the custom emojis now. That's great. Who dat Dave? I was let out of membership jail. Going Shogi says Keegan was gifted a membership. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you for those. Thank you for those dropped gifted memberships as you were let out of jail. My beautiful wife is in the house. She says, here we go. She says, nice. And she says, yes. And guess what that means? She says, thanks, Go and Shogi. But guess that means that we start right off with a celebration. But let's do the you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I was gonna do the short one, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the long one. And I want to show you guys. So right off the bat, see some gifted memberships. So when those things drop during the show, gifted, super chat, super things, super also PayPals, because I actually have a way to see the PayPals when they come in now. Just to let you know, if a PayPal comes in, I will see it and I will throw up a super, or I mean, I will treat it as like a super chat when that comes in and let people know and then acknowledge the speciality of the chat. But I want to say thank you. And my way of saying thank you is to throw a celebration for all you guys. Here's our celebration. It's a great way to start off a Friday morning after a hurricane anyway, which we're still in the middle of a tropical storm warning. So here we go. Celebration time.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, anticipation. It's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
All right. Thank you so much, Go and Shogi, for the gifted memberships. Let's welcome everybody in, which I didn't even really get a chance to do yet. But Little Mouse 27 says, hi, I like your parody song very much. So if you haven't seen Broccoli Hill, so Broccoli Hill, what Broccoli Hill is, it's a parody of Blueberry Hill, but it's about Splash Mountain. It's about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And so on the channel is Broccoli Hill. And that has to do with the fact that way back, I want to say in January or February, we're watching Mickey Views News, and Mickey Views News calls as the exterior was going up on Tiana's Bayou Adventure here at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. The exterior stuff that they were putting on it looked like plastic plants right out of Hobby Lobby. Some people were calling it Hobby Lobby. He was saying that they kind of looked like Rainforest Cafe. And I looked at it and I'm like seeing big spears of broccoli on the mountain. And so that's what I started calling it on the WDW Pro Show. I think that was back in February when we were first talking about it. And I'm like, this thing looks like broccoli. It's like Broccoli Mountain. And that caught on. And everybody thought that they were the first to utter that, but no, I'm the one that coined the phrase Broccoli Mountain, and somehow it got out there, and The phrase went viral. I didn't get the credit for it, but that's okay. But now I've got the song up. My mom actually is the one who suggested I do a parody called Broccoli Hill off Blueberry Hill. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's start working on it. I lost my thrill on Broccoli Hill. And yeah, that's what it is. So that's what she's talking about. That's what Little Mouse 27, he or she, I don't actually know Little Mouse 27 if you were here or she. I'm thinking she, but I don't know. When I think Little Mouse could be could be Mickey Jr. I don't know. You can let me know if you're guy, girl, and I'll address you that way from now on properly in the chat. Will Rod be here? Or did he fly away yesterday trying to get home from Disney World? No, I am here. I was actually on TikTok last night, and it looked like I was going to get blown away. The wind was so scary here in our home that it was hard to even think about doing a live. I did TikTok because I can hold the phone in my hand. And by the time the storm really started to hit, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was sleepy. I was ready to go to bed, and I was tired. It was a long day yesterday. If you didn't see the stream yesterday, we did a 4-hour long stream at Epcot, finally ending at the Magic Kingdom, and we were showing what Disney World was like yesterday. Disney World was lucky though. We had a lot of wind, but we didn't get much in the way of rain. We did end up getting quite a bit of rain last night, but we're so far to the outside of the eye of the storm here in Orlando that we were getting a lot of wind whipping from the outer bands, but not much rain, because by the time those outer bands got here, the storm was already rained out, even though it's very large. Now it's over land and it's calming down, and it's probably going to, I don't know, Georgia maybe is where it is. Going Shogi says, good morning. And he dropped those memberships. Thank you so much for the generosity, Going Shogi. We appreciate that. My beautiful wife is in the house. She said, good morning, everybody. Welcome. And now, because of Going Shogi, she is a member. So, and she says, happy Friday. Little Mouse says, hey, all. Here we go. Going Shogi. Thank you so very much. Dropped those. Where did that go? Uh-oh. I lost it. There we go. Going Shogi gifted those 5 memberships because he says he was let out of membership jail. Good to know. And I feel bad because I just wrote Team YouTube again this morning, but I will let them know in my next post on X that we're good to go now. Mr. Fulton Mraz is in the house, and I know he has some news. So and then my wife loves the celebration music, says thank you. And she says, Xander says, thanks, Going Shogi. And here's the big news from Mr. Fulton Mraz. Ron, I have big news today. I have auditioned for America's Got Talent Season 20. Stay tuned for more information, and I'll be keeping you updated if I make it to the next round. Good luck at making it to the next round. I've had quite a few friends on America's Got Talent. I never did it. I never tried it. If I get in really good shape now that I'm doing YouTube full time, I might actually try it, because it would give a lot more attention to the channel if I got on there and doing impersonations or singing or something, or impersonation singing. I don't know. Who knows? Rover Boy is in the house, dropping those member emojis. Going Shogi says, oh, you're very welcome. And Little Mouse 27 says, cool, Mraz. Very cool. We'll be watching as my aunt and uncle watch the show every season. Mr. Fulton Mraz, congratulations from my beautiful wife. And Rover Boy says, I hope you made it through the storm unscathed. We just had some limbs down, but nothing major. Yes, we did actually have quite a few limbs down in our neighborhood. There is a picture. I don't know if I can find it, because I took a picture of the limbs down, but I don't know if it uploaded yet. But I can certainly check. You guys can still see me. By the way, I'm trying something new with the background today. You may have noticed the background is Pioneer Hall. and that has very much to do with the topic of today's story when we get to it. But what I'm going to try and find here is, oh, there it is. There it is. I just need to see if I can bring it up. Okay. I think I can do this. Let's add this to the stage. There you go. All right, so you say, I hope you made it through the storm unscathed. We just had some limbs down, nothing major. This is our parking lot here, just showing you that. And where in the complex where we live, and those are the limbs that came down, and they are our maintenance team is shoveling them up this morning. So that is what is happening there. But there you can see it. There's fortunately, I haven't seen any yet. I haven't seen any damaged siding on the buildings, which is what often happens here as we get siding damage. So, but hopefully that does not happen today. Oh, Go and Shogi says, check out Broccoli Hill. That's what I was talking about earlier. That is the link for Broccoli Hill. And Go and Shogi says, be sure and drop a like and subscribe. Yes, please do. If you're brand new coming in here, maybe on the replay, if you're on the replay, please comment replay gang. And yeah, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and of course, click that notification bell, because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm, and you get notified of all of our uploads here on Follow the Bradley's Fun. Also, Go and Shogi, I'm going to have you on Culture Watch Duty today, because I didn't see that Culture had yet posted a 6-minute daily video, and normally I like to stream into that. So, hey, look at that. My wife has found her custom emojis. And then, of course, Rover Boy says, I prefer the backside of Tafiti. Just about something about the brown logs coming out of a mountain covered with green foliage. It really does look like Tafiti is doing her thing all over Splash Mountain. And you're not wrong, but I don't know how to write that in a parody song and put that on YouTube in a way that won't get blocked. Thank you, Go and Shogi. Go and Shogi says he's going to keep an eye out. And we're about to get to the story, but before we get to the story, you know what? It's Friday morning. Hurricane happened. We made it through, and you guys are here. Thank goodness. And I'm so glad that you all are here. Bessie Yay says hi. Bessie's in the chat. Good morning, Bessie. You came in at the right time, because we haven't started the story part of it yet, but we're about to. But before we start that story, I just think we need to honor Go and Shogi again for being able to once again drop the memberships. And in order to do that, it is time for our celebration, and then we'll get to the story. So we're going to celebrate, and then we have a story of something that's maybe not so much of a celebration. Let's celebrate first.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can get the show. I think I will go so crazy. Oh,
Woohoo! All right. We are back, and we do have a story this morning. Now, if you recognize behind me what I've done, I've got the green screen up today, and that is Pioneer Hall. As a matter of fact, this used to be one of the views that I would have from one of my work locations back in the day at when I was a cast member. It's true, I was a cast member. As a matter of fact, I've kind of dedicated the rest of this day. At some point in time, I have to sit down, get in front of my camera, and tell my story. Because indeed, I was in fact a cast member. True story. At the Walt Disney World Resort. And that actually happened my very first day of work. My traditions class was 10 years ago today. Today is the 10-year anniversary of when I first became a cast member, for my first day as a cast member at the Walt Disney World Resort. This was my name tag back then. So, yep, true story. True story. And I need to record the video that I've been meaning to record and put it up here for a long time. I don't know why I've been so apprehensive about it, telling my story, but now that it's been 10 years, I think it's okay, you know? So, Rover Boy asks, what is happening to Pioneer Hall? The Hoop to Do review is still great. We rent a cabin every year at Fort Wilderness. So, if you're renting a cabin this year, the cabins are now DVC cabins. They're still rentable. They just made them DVC cabins. But this is actually one of the questions we're going to answer today. Now, it is my understanding Pioneer Hall is going to stay exactly where it is. So let's bring up the story. The story today is about reflections. Do you guys remember back in, I want to say it might have been as early as 2017. I think it was 2017, the D23 2017, that it was announced that Disney was going to build a new resort called Reflections. Now, what you're looking at now, that picture that I just put on the screen, that is River Country. So for anybody that might remember, that might be old enough to remember River Country, okay? That is the property that River Country sat on. If you look to the right, the far right of the screen, you're going to see a tiny, well, it's actually pretty big in real life, a building there. And if you see to the right of that building, there's sort of a little track. That track is for Shetland ponies. That's where kids can go on pony rides. What that building is the Circle D, the Tri-Circle D Ranch. Tri-Circle because it actually is like a hidden Mickey. So the ranch itself, that is where all of Disney's horses are kept overnight, even the ones that you use for horseback riding, which horseback riding starts on the other side of the property. They do have stables over there, but the Tri-Circle D ranches are the stables for the horses. And you can go visit. You can see kind of, if you look closely, you can see the little parking lot in front of it. You can go there and visit and pet the horses and stuff. Though I don't know if you have to have a dining reservation of some kind to get in. I haven't tried to enter Fort Wilderness for a very, very long time. But this is the Fort Wilderness property. This property, I should say, is on Fort Wilderness. This was River Country, and this is the property that has been excavated already. It has been excavated for Reflections. The excavation happened. Let me see what that little, I don't know. Is that a baby? Oh, it's Pampers. It's a Pampers ad that popped up there. I don't know why. All right. Pause it. Anyway, so that's so the property is River Country and Fort Wilderness there. And a little parking lot. All right, so at the top of the picture you're seeing now, that is Pioneer Hall. So those buildings there, that's the Pioneer Hall buildings. Good morning, Mom. My mom is here. She just came in the house. She says hello to everybody. All right, so looking at the property, all right, it was excavated prior to the 2020 closures. The infrastructure for Reflections was being built at the time. A lot of people don't know this. I know this because my job at Disney when I was a cast member was working for Disney Vacation Club. So I worked for DVC, and I happen to know that they don't start building a DVC project until it's funded. Now, it's possible some of the funding for this project could have been reallocated to the changeover of the Fort Wilderness cabins, but certainly this project was fully funded prior to them building, because that's the way Disney Vacation Club works. It's a little bit different than other parts of Disney. Disney Vacation Club funding comes from membership sales profits and the profits that they make on the annual maintenance fees. They call them maintenance fees, but they are allowed to make a certain amount of profit off of those, and they make a lot of profit. Disney Vacation Club is a huge amount of income for Disney, and it's always lumped in to the parks and experiences, parks, products, and experiences. So a lot of people don't see how big of a chunk it actually is, but it's a huge chunk. So they announced this Reflections, and we're going to see here. This is out of Blog Mickey. Okay, says yet another Imagineering permit hints at the Fort Wilderness Hotel revival. Now they're calling it revival, but what I'm saying is that it was shuttered. Yes, Reflections was shuttered during COVID, and then they ended up going with Polynesian first. But every time that I've been back there, even including a 2-day stint that I worked back there in 2023, yes, I did work there in 2023 for all of 2 days. There might be a picture of me somewhere that I can find, and it's kind of funny if I can find it. Let me see here. So I'm going to look for a picture, but while that is coming up, let's go into this article. So every time I've been back there and asked about it, the only news that any cast member ever had, including myself, was that Reflections had only been shuttered. It was tabled. It was never cut off the books. And this actually might be the same case for the Play Pavilion at Epcot, because if you're on the monorail, you'll notice that the Play Pavilion is still announced on the monorail ride as you go past Guardians of the Galaxy. If you're on the monorail going into Epcot. Another permit filed by Walt Disney Imagineering appears to hint at a revival of the Reflections Fort Wilderness. New permit calls for the installation of a water main in a construction staging area reserved for third-party office trailers that were never installed for the project. Let's take a closer look at the permit and a recent activity that would suggest that a large-scale construction project is coming to the shores of Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort soon. Yeah. Yesterday, new permit suggests Reflections revival. And this, by the way, is from Mike out of Blog Mickey. Yesterday, Walt Disney Imagineering filed a permit for the installation of a water main at the STOL Port construction staging site. The STOL Port short takeoff and landing was a small airfield used in the 1970s for a brief period of time. Since then, it has largely been utilized as a storage area. After the announcement of the Reflections Disney Vacation Club Tower in 2019, Walt Disney World filed permits to develop a portion of the STOL port site as a construction staging area. The project, titled Project 89, was a multifaceted effort that would not only turn the STOL port area into a construction staging area, but would also create roadways to connect STOL port to Fort Wilderness, and it would allow for a massive excavation and construction area at the south end of the STOL port area. In the permit screenshot below, you can see the plans to build an access road and to utilize the north end of the STOL port area. So here it is. There's the staging area, Floridian Way, Seven Seas Lagoon. You can see it on the screen, and the access road that they want to build from the staging area. And there's the old. You can see it in the shot by the number 13. If you were to look closely at the shot, you can tell where the old runway was for the 1970s airport coming in and out. While the access road and excavation area were built, the contractor trailer site was never fully utilized. Construction on the northern end of the STOL port was halted during COVID-19, along with the Reflections project as a whole. Some new trailers were installed, but that was mostly replacing Imagineering trailers and other trailers that were displaced due to the planned construction. The third-party contractors were never needed because constructions of the Reflections Hotel never really kicked off. So yes, excavation had happened, some infrastructure was put in, but they never they didn't break ground on the actual hotel. No foundation was built. As you can see in the screenshot below, hardscape was built for the trailers in a rectangular patch of grass, but the trailers never arrived. Now, a newly filed permit would suggest that these third-party contractor construction trailers will be installed shortly, as Disney not so quietly restarts the Reflections project at Fort Wilderness. So there it is. The new permit calls for the installation of a water main line and an address matching one of the never installed trailer sites. In theory, the water connection would be part of the infrastructure necessary to support these trailers for a multi-year project. When you combine this recent permit activity with the fact that Disney recently applied for a permit to have a 240-foot crane on site as early as mid-October, and an August permit that suggests that the lines with previously permitted addresses for the Reflections project, it's nearly undeniable that some sort of large-scale project is imminent at Fort Wilderness. It's very likely that the project will be the shuttered Reflections project, but Walt Disney World has not announced anything at this time, and requests for comment have gone unanswered. So here is a history of that. So history of Reflections of Disney Lakeside Lodge. Back in 2018, we posted an article that said Disney was exploring the development of land where the long-shuttered River Country Water Park used to be located. The exploratory project was at that time called Project 89. Early coverage of the permits included impact studies for land viability. And then it was more than 6 months later, Walt Disney World officially announced that they were, in fact, going to build on the former River Country land and that an all-new nature-inspired resort would be built. This announcement came in October 2018, and Disney announced that the resort would open in 2022. This is what they had announced back then. A new nature-inspired mixed-use Disney resort will welcome families in 2022, along with the picturesque shoreline of Bay Lake located between Disney's Wilderness Lodge and Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. This resort project joins 3 others underway at Walt Disney World Resort, bringing a total of more than 1,700 new hotel rooms and proposed Disney Vacation Club villas online over the next. Remember, this actually didn't come to pass in this manner, but this was the announcement at that time back in 2018. The deluxe resort, which will be themed to complement its natural surroundings, will include more than 900 hotel rooms and a proposed Disney Vacation Club villas spread across a variety of unique accommodations. Walt Disney World is in the midst of our most significant expansion in the last 2 decades, and the combined hosts 1,700 new blah blah blah. That really doesn't matter. The whole idea there was that they were getting ready, supposedly, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the resort in a big way, and it was in a way that never really came about. Yeah, that's basically what happens. Is that just I'm trying to see if I can find something, but it's not popping up. That's okay. When I'm talking about the Reflections Resort, I wonder if all right, so I'm going to try something a different way. We may be able to get something to work. We'll see. If it works, it works. If it does, oh, look at this. Look at this. What I wanted to show you, and this is going to be very interesting if I can pull it up. I'm trying. There's a particular photo that I am attempting to find back here, and I think it was March of 2023. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. All right, here it is. You guys are going to laugh the heck out of this one. This is hilarious. So, remember how I said that I did, in fact, oh, hey, Pam. Pam is here. Pam, you came just in time for me to make fun of myself here. I expected the 50th to be elevated. Oh, my gosh. You are so right. So, they used, so weird, they used the pandemic as an excuse to really tamper down the 50th. But the biggest disappointment to me was that they did a television special with no audience at the Magic Kingdom. I mean, it was one of the biggest letdowns. I mean, you have what should be the Jubilee year for the Walt Disney World Resort, and it was just incredibly bad. You guys want to see something funny? Okay, so here it is. Remember how I said that oh no, Maggie Smith has passed away. That's sad to hear about. So remember I told you I worked at the Pioneer Hall at Hoop to Do? I worked at Hoop to Do for 2 days. Want to see what that looked like? Here you go. There I am in my Hoop to Do outfit. Yeah, I got the costume. I was there for 2 days. I hated it, and I went back to my other location. But yeah, that was really, really funny to me at the time. But since you have said that Culture has placed his link up, and I got to thank you for this, I think this is a really, really good time for another celebration, because that is going to give me the time when we do the celebration to look for and see if I can redirect this to the 6-minute daily Culture Casino. So let's put up the celebration.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, that's so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation. It's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I will go so crazy. On
Sorry you were late. You were sleeping. That's okay. We're talking about the Reflections Resort that never was, but probably will be behind this thing at Pioneer Hall. So the biggest thing that I want to talk about is how the responses to this, and it was at the time, actually, people were not happy when this thing was first announced, the Reflections Resort. And yes, I was able to, I think, get the redirect in. So we should be rating over into Culture Casino after this. Hey, Rhonda H. Rhonda H just popped in. She's in the house this morning. And if you haven't done so yet, if you don't mind, drop a like on the stream today. I know a lot of people out here in Florida are attempting to recover. Oh my goodness, from quite the storm, especially on Florida's west coast. The west coast was really, really hit hard. I have some friends that I need to find out exactly how they're doing, especially as you got to the northwest coast. Was I a bartender? No, I was not a bartender. I was a server. I would have been a server at the Hoop to Do. So I had several problems with it. I will tell you that if I would have stayed there, I might actually still be working. It was actually when I first got that transfer that I considered revamping my YouTube channel. That was in March of 2023. And so this all might have still happened anyway. It would have been a very interesting situation. I was having a very, very difficult time with the kitchen, with stairs, with the noise. You actually, if you work there, you have to wear earplugs because the noise level is so high. And most of the servers, you'll notice they have like a set of earplugs here that they have around their neck so that when they need them, they can just put them in real quick. Because there's points in time in the service where you're not using them and points in time in the service where you are using them, and you have to but it gets super, super noisy in there. And in order to save their ears, and this is another reason why I left, it was tough. Basically, the Hoop to Do servers are glorified food runners. Everything you do there is about moving the food to the table and getting drinks properly to your table. So you have about anywhere from 15 to 20 something people that you're serving at a time during the show. And there's a little bit of downtime. You do 2 to 3 shows per night. It was just, the environment of it was not something I had wanted to end up staying with. Had I done that, what is this? They let you quit and go back where? Toledo is where I was at, the restaurant. Anthony Butcher asked, "Where did you go back to?" I was at Toledo, which was a brand new. That was a weird thing for me. This was an old kitchen, and I wanted to be back in the new kitchen. But the other thing was I was full time at Toledo, so I had some benefits. Going to part time, you lose all the benefits, and I would have maybe gotten scheduled 1 day a week. But that was the whole reason why I was thinking maybe I should revamp my YouTube. However, I couldn't do the criticism that I put out there of Disney. I would not be able to have the same type of a channel that I have now, and I'm very, very glad. There are certain things that I wish would have happened very differently, but I'm glad that I'm able to do the content that I can do on YouTube now because I do not work for Disney. I'm not a cast member, and I can feel very comfortable criticizing the heck out of them on my YouTube channel because they deserve to be criticized. Server is a tough job. Chef is yelling at you. Guests are yelling at you. Everyone is yelling at you. That is not untrue. But my job when I was a server was I considered myself an entertainer who took food orders. So for me, it was all about the entertainment value. So for those that asking about Hoop to Do, it's all you can eat home style cooking. I know the part you are talking about with the noise. My kids love it. Yeah, you're talking about so at the end of the show, everybody in the audience has these washboards and you're all playing them, and it's super, super loud. And you actually have to get tested every 3 months. You're hearing Disney tests your hearing every 3 months to make sure that you're not losing your hearing, which I probably am. I can already hear, like in my ears, I have a very slight background ringing all the time. And I don't know, honestly, some of those servers there are in their 70s. I have no idea how they keep up. I, I'll be honest. I would not be surprised if one of these days they're in the middle of a show and one of the servers just because they've been there doing some of those servers. The servers that are there and full time have been doing it for 40 years, so they've gotten used to everything with it, and they like it because the gratuities are automatic. So you pay the gratuity when you pay for your ticket, and then they might get more cash dropped on the table afterwards. But I didn't want to take the chance that it was going to only be 1 day a week. However, things would my channel would have looked different, but I would have started YouTube back then. Either way. So, but here it is. And now I'm giving everything to this, to YouTube, to this channel, to the vlogs, to the other things I'm putting up. And that's why I think it's time for me to do my cast member video and tell you the story. But before I do want to go over, let me see if I can bring these up. If they do end up building the Reflections Resort, and I have always felt they would, when they first announced the Polynesian would get a new Disney Vacation Club building, the first time that they announced that the Polynesian was going to get a Disney Vacation Club building, the design of that Polynesian building looked very, very similar to what the Reflections designs had been looking like. And let me show you what one of those designs look like. So this is the Reflections Resort. This is what they very well might be building. And I think the idea behind Reflections is that it's sort of supposed to be a DVC resort built on the Fort Wilderness property behind Pioneer Hall. But it's supposed to, the idea is supposed to be like it's called Reflections because it's supposed to be this quiet Zen thing blending into nature. The theme of Reflections is not the Disney's trying. Disney, I think, is trying to get away from the whole Pioneer Fort Wilderness theme. Exactly. It looks like Polynesian. It looks like the new building. So what happened is everybody thought this was axed, and they just took these designs and put them over in the new Polynesian building. But I'm telling you, I never thought this was axed. I always thought they were gonna do this. The reason I've always thought that they were going to do this building is simply because. Let me see here. Here's another picture of it. Let me see if I can find this one. We'll share this one. Okay. I always thought they were going to do this building because they never said they wouldn't. Yes, rip Maggie Smith is very, very sad. Our Wendy Angela Darling from the movie Hook. Oh yeah, that's right. She wasn't she also in yeah, I see the style of the new cab it does not fit the wilderness rugged look at all. And here's what I think that the current team of Disney Imagineers are trying to do. I think they're trying to get away from any Americana, any symbolism of the pioneering days, which I think also has to do with getting rid of Rivers of America and trying to build Cars Land. It seems like they're wanting to. I feel like the stories matter people feel like, in their weird way of thinking, that all of this type of stuff, this type of theming, is somehow um, problematic for a portion of people. And they're trying to get away from it. And I, like many people, have issues with that because history is important, and but they don't want us to reflect on this history as if it were fun times, good times. Uh, but you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, if Disney gets rid of all of that, if Disney gets rid of Frontierland, if they get rid of everything Pioneer, if they get rid of Pioneer Hall, they get rid of all this kind of stuff that is a throwback to a different day and age in the United States. You do have Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. You do have Dollywood. You have a lot of places. Maybe the Heartland project happens to end up coming to life. I don't know if it will or not. But my point is, there are going to be alternatives, okay? And I think people will flock to the alternatives when they see that Disney no longer gives honor to American heritage and American roots. If it looks like the Disney company is spitting in the eye of America's history, people aren't going to like that. So they're going to lose market share. It just is what it is. And I hate seeing that happen, because there are ways to incorporate all of this and make it work. Just like there was ways to do Song of the South and make it work. I love Song of the South. I have a lot of Black friends that love Song of the South. It's great. Yes, this is true. I'm not covering this because I didn't even know about it until this stream, but Maggie Smith is one of our greatest actresses. Such sad news. I really liked her. Sad to hear. And Dan says, I agree. I don't like the new look at Fort Wilderness. I miss Trails and Restaurant for Breakfast. Oh my gosh. Trails and buffet breakfast. I think that's the breakfast that I took my family to the most. And when I say the most, I don't mean like all the time, but I think 3 or 4 times I went there, took my family there. Putin's cat, you are drop some member emojis, check and see. But from what I'm seeing on my end, you're absolutely a member of the chat. Yeah. Looks like Go and Shogi says, Putin's cat says, thank you, Go and Shogi. And I think it's time to thank Go and Shogi again. Hope you guys don't mind that I did the green screen version of the show. Is that cool that I put this behind me? It's just a different way of doing it than I normally do. My set is still back here. I wonder if there's a way that I can show you. See, there's Figment. He's hiding right there. Native Hawaiian, sorry I'm late. Well, we're going to redirect Native Hawaiian right over to Culture Casino. I know, Maggie. No, it's very sad. And Pam says, I really do not think Disney has any intention of expanding ever again. They seem to be intent on destroying it. Yeah, they at Walt Disney World, I think you're talking about. It seems like, yeah, I don't understand why. They have lots of land to expand, even at the Magic Kingdom. But I think they would be. It is possible. I want to say that it's possible that if they ever got the rights to use Marvel, the MCU stuff here, whether they shared with Universal or whether they got the rights from Universal, if they did that, they might, because the MCU gives them all kinds of stuff to put here at Walt Disney World, then they might consider a fifth gate, but I don't think a fifth gate's even going to be considered right now. Expansion will be to DVC properties and not to theme parks. That is 100% true. Having worked for Disney Vacation Club, I can tell you that DVC is where they make so much money. So, yep, that's definitely going to be the case. And Putin's cat says, I knew Maggie from California, Sweet Clash of the Titans and Murder by Death long before the Harry Potter days. Yeah, Maggie's done so much in her career. It's sad to have that loss, but I don't want to end the show on a sad note, but it is time to end the show. So I'm going to end the show on a happy note, remembering that Goen Shogi is able to do gifties again. Gifties, gifties. And I want to have one more celebration before we throw it over to culture. Should we do that? Everybody, get ready with your custom emojis. Get ready to dance and let's celebrate.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes to be on the show, I think I would go so crazy.
All right, we are back. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. You are the energon that makes this transformer transform and roll out. So I appreciate there are so many ideas that I have for different celebrations. What I'm thinking about doing is definitely doing like the Elaine dance. I know exactly what you're talking about from Seinfeld. There are a lot of other things that I want to catch in there. Catch you later, Ron. Thank you. Like your show, Ron, because you covered different things. I try and do some different things that other people aren't doing, but mostly I try to focus it on the parks, and then I try to go live at least once a week from the parks. That was yesterday, so if you didn't see it yesterday, 4-hour long stream from the parks. And I know Saturday I'm not going to be on anything because I have something else that I'm doing on Saturday, but you might see a stream from me on Sunday coming up. So look out for that. And keep an eye out for perhaps my cast member story. I don't know when that's going to release, but I got to film it today because it only makes sense for me to film it on the 10th anniversary of me starting my traditions class, right? So I got to do it. I'm talking about it too long, and I got to get it out there. And until then, everyone say hi to Culture Casino for me on your way in. Yes, I am so glad that we made it through another hurricane safely as well. But until the next time I see y'all, folks, thank you so much for being here. And we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao. Love you. Thank you. Bye. Ciao.